Welcome to the Brothers and Sisters podcast. This is what's coming up next, so stay tuned.
You're a liar, but you're not making money on the same level that you were. Look at like Spacey or Harvey Weinstein. Those are crimes.
Okay. Look at Are you familiar with this kid? What's his young brother name? YNW Melly. You know what I'm saying? Murder. In jail for murder. Murdering his homeboy. You know what I'm saying? And he just dropped the album last week, and he got Queen Nala on it. You know what I'm saying?
Like it almost depends on what the crime is, right?
Cancel culture depends on if the people you know or the people you talking to or the people you spending money with give a fuck. But
yeah, he killed a black man. Usually people don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, true. And like what else? Like yeah, fair enough. But like we niggas, so that kind of comes with and that it is what it is. Like I don't have a report. I do not have a report.
That's one of the truest statement that's been made. So, and I guess our cancel culture segment for the week, it seems like we have one of these every week. Aquafina, for those of you who don't know, she's got a show coming out. She's kind of sort of the loud, like smaller Asian female comedian. If you've seen Ocean's 8, she was in Ocean's 8. That's what I remember her from. Mm-hmm. She's actually
she's in Crazy Rich Asians too.
Yeah, she's in. I didn't see that.
She was funny.
Yeah.
She was I actually rode with her. I probably still do. It's just weird. Cause she was like, yeah, I'm not trying to be, play any roles, or I'm not here for the fucking Asian mascots. I'm like, good for you. Like you shouldn't be. And then she's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do any accents, the Charlie Chan accents or whatever, which a baseball announcer just got in trouble for doing with Shohei Ohtani, by the way. But anyway, old interview surfaces of her, like just with a black accent, like just straight out. And people are like, you are from Forest Hills. There are no black people in Forest Hills. Like, where'd you get this accent from? Because
I tried to live there.
Yeah, she's like, well, maybe. As Nicole shares the Brittany Renner book, for all of you aspiring.
Listen, we need to make reading come back. I'm all for reading books. If anyone's interested, there's the link. It's $11.25.
Book club.
For all of our young female listeners looking for role models, we have Brittany Renner's book that you can read.
And it allows you to walk a mile in her shoes, depending on your appetite for truth and reality.
And Sean. Anyway, so she's on the black accent after saying that, she wasn't for playing accents that, typified were stereotypical of races. This will actually combine with Tyler, the Creator. I think he was on the Breakfast Club. Might have been the Breakfast Club, or might have been somewhere else, but the article was in Complex, talking about cancel culture in the sense of what it would mean for his career. Basically, he was saying he would have no career if cancel culture was where it was 10 years ago. If you guys remember, he's solo now. He was the creator of Odd Future, which is this very alternative West Coast rap group. And I get the most polite. I love their music, but the most polite I can be is alternative. They were definitely.
Sean, we see.
Let me put it this way. Odd Future is black. They crossed over. Yeah, they crossed over to black people. White people were fucking with Odd Future long before black people were. That's how alternative they were. To give you some idea, they had videos eating bugs, hanging themselves, very derogatory towards larger women, bringing it back to the Lizzo conversation, those types of things. His issue was going back to the past, what do you gain from it for bringing somebody down right now? And if you're talking about accountability, there's Nicole, she's got it. It's also in Apple Books for you Brittany Renner fans out there. We can get her books and learn her ways. But I guess the idea is I liked Aquafina, and I didn't see Crazy Rich Asians. I'm going to read this in comment. I didn't see Crazy Rich Asians, but I liked her in Ocean's 8. Am I not supposed to like her now? I kind of sort of do, but the black scent was.
They're saying that she fake.
It seems benign. It's like people don't even realize they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to their own, I don't know. It's tough. I'm not familiar with her enough to even like.
I don't know how I'm supposed to feel because I do like her. My gut reaction is I like Aquafina.
That's where I am, Autumn. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this.
I don't know how I'm supposed to feel either, but is it wrong that I just don't care that much?
Bingo.
Like
there we go.
I like her. She makes me laugh. I don't think that is so egregious because Black people do that all the time where we feel like we can make fun of whoever. And nobody better say anything about us. So, that's kind of seems like maybe that's what her mindset was when she was doing the black scent. I don't know, but I like her. I like her. Unless she does something totally egregious, like goes on a racist rant or does something, awful. I don't care.
Nah. We care about the black scent, Mia?
It doesn't bother me. I think what's more interesting about the way that she presents herself is that she's breaking stereotypes for Asian women and how they're depicted in film, where she's not willing to play stereotypical roles and she's not willing to pigeonhole herself and allow herself to be placed in a box as to how Asian women will be presented. At least for my household, that's important for Asian representation. So, I mean, I'm on board with it for that. But the black scent, I don't know. It's a blurry line for me. Yeah.
In the sense that
she's an actress. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean,
different.
It's a blurry line in the sense that like she's a rapper, that's also part of what she does. And
she raps the black scent too.
She raps with the black scent.
Artists and
you kind of have to, don't you?
Yeah, I mean,
we killed Iggy for that, right?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. We did kill Iggy for that, but
do we know Aquafina's natural speaking voice, like before she became famous? Like just because she grew up in Forest Hills doesn't mean she wasn't around a whole lot of Black people.
That's what the commentary was.
Is it possible that maybe she had a bit of one to begin with and was, I don't know. For everything that I've ever seen of her and everything that I've ever heard of her, even when I watch her show Nora from Queens, because her birth name is actually Nora Lum. And she does a show called Nora from Queens because she grew up in Queens. She speaks the same exact way on the show. So I don't know how much of it is an actual affliction that she just puts on whenever she's on camera. But does it fit her persona? Does it fit how she presents herself and what she feels comfortable projecting out into the world? Yes. As long as she stays consistent with that and it's not something that she just puts on like a coat when the camera comes on and people say action. Okay, cool. If that's how you identify yourself and if that's your culture and if that's the community that you came up in, great. Be that 100% of the time. I'm all for people doing whatever it is that they want to do as long as they're the same way 100% of the time. It's when you switch up shit and you decide that you only want to do it so that you can get clout with certain groups of people that I'm going to be like, you're a fraud. So if she's going to
that's my thing. I don't know enough about her to even judge.
Well said.
Yeah.
And just to give people an idea of, we won't be able to play it in the actual video. I don't even know which Odd Future video to play. Like they are all just so offensive and over the top.
Tyler used to always drop the F-bomb too all the time. He used to say,
yeah,
and he's bisexual, right?
But then he said he was gay, right? Remember, he was in a relationship with.
I think he's bi, yeah.
Nah.
I don't know what it is.
So it made it okay.
And I hate that I always go back to this, but how old was he when Odd Future first started? Like, was he just a dumbass?
19, right? Talked about he was 19 now.
Of course he's saying dumb shit.
Like you said, I mean, I agree that if he said the same shit now that he said then,
yeah,
he'd be done.
Right. Exactly.
I agree with that.
That's what he said, yeah.
Right. But he's had an opportunity to grow up. Like, there are certain things that we do as teenagers.
Yeah, he was just on like some Tom Green shit, but he was super talented.
People shouldn't be holding that against, there's certain things that you can do as a teenager.
Just trolling.
Holding it.
Rapper, comedian Ron Kelly, cancel culture.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? What about cancel culture?
Good? The Black Scent, is that good? Odd Future, you can make it today?
Could they make it today? No, not because they weren't talented, but because of today's climate. I don't think that they could do what they did then today. Just like if you look at Tom Green, if you look at what Tom Green did, or if you even look at Andy Milonakis, no, they couldn't do that act. But if Tyler came out today and, and if he was with Earl Sweatshirt, today, and they came up today, I think our future would be a different type of our future. Just like them one boys, ain't there like some boys out east, Brampton?
Yeah,
aren't they gay? Aren't they gay?
One of them is. The lead guy's gay.
Okay. The lead guy's gay. And then the one dude got canceled for like I think he beat up his girlfriend or something like that.
Oh, see, I wasn't familiar. Yeah, I wasn't familiar. But, just the fact that there is a hip hop group that, you gotta ask, hey, is he gay? Yeah, he is. Okay, but they dope, today. Yeah. I think that, Tyler could make it, because if you look at what he's doing now, he's evolving, saying? So he couldn't do that act, but he could, they could do something else, I think, because they talented. But this cancel culture stuff is, to me, as an artist, it's like, it's like, it's the extreme of like giving people access to fans. Like, nobody wants to pay for art. Nobody wants to, pay for music, but everybody wants it to fit into their, pocket of sensitivity or what's appropriate. And, and if I don't, as an artist, do something that you don't care for, but you don't even do what I do, you're gonna cancel me, like I can't make money again. Like, cancel culture is just mob mentality for people who ain't got a mob for real. They just, cancel culture, anybody who's ever really truly been canceled, okay, they deserved it. Like, like the difference between, what's the difference between Don Imus and Howard Stern? One of the dudes got canceled for, calling black women nappy-headed hoes, and the other one made a career out of it. The shit's talent. It's like talent and, the ability to fuck cancel culture. You can't cancel me. Like, why do I give a fuck? Like, because, like, think about it. Kanye, everybody, cancel Kanye, but man, Kanye done made about $7 million on the album that ain't came out yet.
Yeah. I think part of Kanye's thing, and people talk about that, I think the fact that he crossed over and the fact that a lot of his income is not coming from music now is a part of his uncancelability, so to speak.
Are you waiting for his album?
A lot of
his last album, what was his last album?
I don't even know. I don't even
know it was number one. It was number one.
I'm sure it was for like a week, but
like the whole cancel culture thing, like cancel culture is a myth. Like, it's not
necessarily. It depends on what you do.
Ask
like,
R.
if
Kelly.
you do is so egregious, like
ask R. Kelly.
Harvey Weinstein.
R. Kelly commits crimes.
Kevin Spacey's canceled.
R. Kelly is canceled. What do you mean? Ask R. Kelly.
I'm saying R. Kelly. I'm saying he's saying you can't get canceled. I'm saying R. Kelly got canceled.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
He committed crimes, though.
On the surface, R. Kelly got canceled. On the surface, but R. Kelly is still making money off of the music sales because his shit's still streaming. Like I can play Black Panties right now. I did it the other day. You know what I'm saying? I can see like he's still making money. Like people like he's just not getting booked. You know what I'm saying? The actual
He is
cancel.
booked he's booked and got cuffs.
Yeah, but as far as cancel culture, you know what I'm saying? That's like the cancel culture is like people's public opinion, you know what I'm saying? Popular opinion. Like it matters, but at the end of the day, he's still making money behind bars. The music is still streaming.
Not at the same, but I think we have to make this distinction. Is it criminality or is it some opinion or some fucked up shit you said? Because I don't think you can get canceled if it's just some fucked up shit, because you can always either defend it, stand on it, or apologize and move on. But if it's some criminality shit, then you definitely get canceled, and you won't be. You might not. You're alive and shit, but you're not making money on the same level that you were. Look at like Spacey or Harvey Weinstein. Those are crimes.
Okay. Look at are you familiar with this kid? What's his young brother name? YNW Melly. You know what I'm saying? In jail for murder. Murdering his homeboy. You know what I'm saying? And he just dropped the album last week, and he got Queen Nala on it. You know what I'm saying?
Like it almost depends on what the crime is, right?
The cancel culture depends on if the people you know or the people you talking to or the people you spending money with give a fuck. But
he killed a black man. Usually people don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, true. And like what else? Like fair enough. But like you know, we niggas, so you know that kind of comes with some things, and that it is what it is. Like I don't have a retort. I do not have a retort.
That's probably the truest statement that's been made.
The legal system canceled them niggas for us. You know what I'm saying? Like if they weren't in prison, you know what I mean? They who knows what they be doing?
That's the whole point.
They locked them up, but they still making money with the music, though. They're still generating money. Like they're not canceled. Like in terms of dollars.
I think it's semantics what we're talking about. You're talking about your definition of canceled is your shit is completely cut off. Like nobody's nobody's canceled at that level, but the money they could be making if this said shit didn't happen is drastically different, I feel like.
Exactly. Because the baby ain't getting no shows.
The baby's
Okay. No. The baby is not getting the same type of shows. You know what I'm saying? The baby's still getting booked in the hood. You know, if the baby swallows his pride, he can still get booked in the hood.
He won't.
The fucking Jeezy still coming to Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like
I was gonna say no. He could get booked in the hood. Like hoods
that
don't care about. Like I'm sure he could.
But he was on the cusp of that Coachella shit, and that shit ain't happening.
Yeah, now he's back to the circuit.
Right.
Yeah, that's done.
He's back to the Chitlin and Green circuit. Exactly.
That's done. He fucked up, but
that's what kills me about him.
So that's canceled.
It was so pointless. You're in between songs. You're supposed to just rah the crowd up, and you're saying that shit. What the fuck you doing?
You would say, ladies, have a good time. Let me hear you scream. Like he didn't have to.
Right? If you didn't walk in the building with one of those sexy shit, put your cell phone lighters up. Like, what are you talking about?
It sounded like something very specific,
very personal,
listen, I used to rap. I done did shows. I did summer jams. I done hyped up the crowd in the most creative ways. I ain't never said, you know,
Sucking.
No offense. Been outside, you know what I'm saying, sucking the dick that curves to the left in the back of the you know what I'm saying? Like I never did that before. Like I don't understand where that came from.
Why? Because why would that be on your mind?
Exactly.
Something very.
That's what I'm saying. You had to have seen someone sucking dick in the parking lot for that shit to even be on your mind.
Like,
so,
you know,
Rob, we got 20 minutes left. We want to get into your interview as best as possible. Talk about your background. Continue from where you just left off. You were a performer, you were a rapper, musician. How'd you go from that and transition into comedy?
Okay, to make a long story short, Quasi, shit, I got old. Okay, I like for real, I got old and fucking rappers started shooting. You know what I mean? Like they went from fighting to fucking stabbing to like shooting. Like, you know, open mics got real dangerous. You know, so I was like, you know, like I still did music, but you know, people have always said you should be a comedian. You should be a comedian. And you know, one night I went to a comedy club, you know, to get away from the ex-wife, got drunk, and came in second place in like a fucking contest, you know. So you know, and comedy was kind of sort of a natural, you know, in transition. I just pretty much take the shit I talk about in life and I talk about it on stage.
What I've heard that there's similarities as far as timing is concerned and rhythm and stuff like that. Is that true or is that bullshit?
I mean, it's rhythm, it's a performance, but to me, in all honesty, comedy is like sex. You know what I'm saying? Comedy is like sex. There's a universal good at it. There's a universal bad at it. But when you're up there, when I'm on top, when I'm like, you're gonna get these jokes, or you're gonna get these dicks, and you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna either be good or I'm not. You know, it's all about being in tune, in all seriousness, to the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have like shit that's funny to you, but you know what I'm saying? It's just I mean, I don't know. I try not to overthink it, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know what I'm saying, my approach, I just talk about the shit that I talk about anyway on stage, you know.
Is there so there is no rhyme or necessarily the reason, like when you're preparing for a show, do you look at the crowd and be like, okay, these jokes will work and these jokes won't? Like the show, if you're just like, I'm gonna do these songs and not these songs, depending upon the crowd, or is there anything like that, or is it like, this is what I'm fucking with tonight, this is what I want to do?
Honestly, to me, you know what I'm saying, with me, you know what I'm saying, every artist is different, you know what I'm saying. With me, I get the mom spaghetti before every show. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate this shit. I don't want to do it. I don't know why the fuck I'm out here. Oh shit, I'm a goddamn nurse. I need to be out here, man. I should have went to school. You know, I don't understand. You know, fuck that. I should have sold drugs. You know, it's just, I mean, anything. But it's, but once I'm up there, I might have a certain set of jokes that I know might work, but every audience is different. And when I say comedy is like sex, just like every woman is different. You know what I mean? So you can't, you know what I'm saying? You might, you know what I'm saying, be good at one thing, but this woman, I might not like that. Because like when I was in New York, I did a fucking joke that killed in fucking Michigan. But these white people looked at me like, you know, I mean, it's like, and I know it's a good joke, you know, it's just, you know, things, you know, it is all about reading the room, and then, you know, it's all about being able to adapt to me.
Talk about the Ron Kelly show.
Dude, so yeah, man, the Ron Kelly show is, you know, people started doing the podcast thing. The Ron Kelly show is like basically an evolution of the barbecue, and the barbecue was like, look, it's where my white friends get with my black friends and figure out how the fuck do we know this guy. And you know, and most often it's because I say some silly shit, like, you know, we gonna get to talking. Like, you know, we're gonna talk about everything from midget twerkers to fucking duck dicks. You know what I mean? Like, you know why? Because shit, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. You know, but yeah, but the Ron Kelly show, it's a podcast, you know what I'm saying, radio show that airs on CRB radio, Cave Radio. And it's like current events topics, but it's pretty much what I'm trying to build is like a safe space for conversation, you know, like open conversation, honest conversation. Because what I've noticed, uh everybody get on social media, and for the most part, people so full of shit and self-righteous. Cause like you know, I don't know, man. People fake, you know what I'm saying? The most honest comedians are the ones people love, you know. So I don't know. I just go out there and just try to you know what I'm saying, talk to people, make people laugh, you know, it's pretty much like some therapy for myself, because sometimes I don't have insurance. And if I don't talk about the shit that's on my mind, I might do something. So yeah.
Questions? Anybody?
Anybody?
So how do you feel about comedians delving into hot topics like wearing masks and shit like that? I just went to Eddie Griffith's show in Las Vegas, and a big part of his thing was all this extreme views on how the media is trying to make people wear masks and get vaccines. How do you feel about, not necessarily just that topic, just in general, making real life part of your comedic act on an extreme side, like extreme pro this, extreme anti that, versus just making jokes about the matter, period?
I mean, there's a lane for anything if you're talented enough. And what comedy is to me is like, you talk about the shit that gets people going. It's either current events that, you know what I'm saying, get people to feel a certain way emotionally, or shit that happens to you internally that you talk about that gets people to feel a certain way emotionally. But as far as this mass shit, you know, I'm a nurse when I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm not telling jokes. And you know, people are dumb. And
yes, they are.
Like, you know, like, I'm not about to argue with people. Like, you know, like I got this thing, like, you know, before I went to, you know, say, like, if I get my vaccine, like, before I pay my phone bill, like, do they have that 5G vaccine that they had? Because, like, remember when COVID was there, like, is that out there? Is that a Moderna shot or something? Yeah, people are dumb. And this mask stuff, you know, it's hundreds and thousands of people dying.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
You know, like, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, when people say, yeah, but you don't really die of COVID. All right, you know, how does AIDS work, people? You don't really die from AIDS, you die from the flu. You know what I'm saying? You die from
pneumonia,
a cold.
Yeah,
You know,
right. Complications that come out of it. And people like, they'll say someone got COVID and they lived, but the things that could happen to you, like long term or for the rest of your life, that could come out of getting COVID, like, that's counted as living. But that your life is completely changed.
Here's the thing, like, you know, so let's just be real. You know, it's people that be out here raw dogging, and like, AIDS is still here too. Herpes is true. Like, people don't, like, people are dumb.
That's what not wearing a mask is. Raw dogging.
Like
raw dogging the air.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't know, but like, the media, like, one thing that the people on the extreme left or the extreme right, or however you view it, the media is trying to stir up an emotional response. Like, the media is, you know what I'm saying, like, newspapers aren't free, commercials, like how does the news have a sweeps week? You know what I'm saying? Like how y'all generate all this, you know what I'm saying, crazy shit during this 1 week with all the fucking stations. Like seriously, like, but the news is you know, sensationalized journalism. That's what it is, you know, period. So, you know, that's the one thing that either, you know what I'm saying, you smart that you are right about, or you dumb that you are right about. Well, yeah, like, you know, COVID killed a whole bunch of people. You know what I mean? Like, you know, as a nurse, I work with it. I seen it. You know, like, you know, seeing people here Friday, hey, how you doing? Oh, I got a headache. And then come in to work Monday. Hey, where's so-and-so? Dead. Like, oh shit. You know, so I'm not gonna argue with nothing that somebody saw on YouTube, or, you know, or what they think that, you know what I'm saying, some juices and berries to do. Like, you know, but that's what COVID though. But, yeah, yeah.
Autumn, you were up.
Yeah. This is kind of I guess, a COVID related question, but a different question. How did that impact like your performances and gigs? Did you decide to maybe perform for smaller audiences and everyone's wearing a mask? Did you choose to just work online and perform that way until things are safer?
COVID shut everything down for me. Like COVID, you know, like if I can't do clubs, I can't read the room, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so like an airbender, like Avatar, like I need the people's energy to do what I do. Cause like the online comedy, you know, that's just weird to me, you know, and that's not my thing. So what I did was pretty much talk a lot of shit everywhere I went, like at work or at home, or, you know what I'm saying? Like I did my podcast, you know, like I always try to find an avenue. So like I pretty much concentrated on, you know, doing, you know, the Ron Kelly show, and, you know, the barbecue, and you know, the group on social media, you know, trying to generate conversation just to, you know, keep my name current and active. But since they have lifted the ban, I've had one show canceled. I've had a couple shows, and believe it or not, the rooms are, you know what I'm saying, semi-packed. Like, you know, people are out here, and, you know, everybody raw dog and air, like it can't happen to them. So
Yeah.
it's just truth.
It is.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. So you said that you got into comedy just because you got older, and then career change, you realized like you were just funny. But is there any particular comedian that you drew influence from, that you realized that was like an inspiration for you, or someone that made you think that, you know, they inspired you to actually go for it? If they could do it, you could do it.
You know, yeah, like I was sitting at home, and this is, I mean, if I ever meet dude, we're gonna talk about this, and because I'm a real big fan of his work. But I seen Donald Glover stand up, and that shit was trash, you know, and I was like, you know, oh, so you're doing the white, you know what I'm saying, like the black dudes, suburbs, and like you're not even talking about barbershop conversation. You're just, you know, and I was like, oh, I could probably do that. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the one dude that, him and Nick Cannon, because I don't think Nick Cannon is like really funny on stand-up. You know what I'm saying? Like the other shit, what he does is what he does. That Wild and Out's funny, but like, you know, I've looked at you know what I'm saying, those people like, oh, I could do that. And then I'm a real big fan of Kevin Hart and Cat Williams. You know, those are my guys.
That's funny that you say that, because when I saw Donald Glover stand up, I didn't think it was that funny, but I think ATL or Atlanta is hilarious.
Atlanta's very
I think it's great. I thought the Teddy Perkins episode was, I couldn't take my eyes off of the screen. I was just fascinated, also creeped out at the same time, and I was just like,
you watched it twice,
going
like
on?
back to back.
Yeah,
that episode was crazy.
But yeah, when I saw that stand up, I was like, this is not what I was expecting. I thought it was just kind of like, meh. So yeah, that's it's funny that that's
you know, and then like speaking of Donald Glover, like Childish Gambino, like when I talked to Quasi the first time back in, I don't know, I don't even think I had
that
this
was
many
2015, 2016, something like that. You just dropped an album.
Yeah, I had, you know, man, you make it sound so fancy. I put some music out on Spotify and you know, a few people listen to it. But yeah, I did drop an album, but the whole Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, the whole, you know what I'm saying, I kind of saw what he was doing and I was like, you know what? I can do pretty much what he can do better than him, you know, kind of sort of. And you know, he was kind of like an inspiration. And then I figured out, you know, as an artist, you don't try to, you know what I'm saying, do what somebody else is doing. You know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, true talent to me is like how well you can hide your inspirations, you know. So yeah, a few people that you know what I'm saying, been influential in me being the type of hybrid artist that I am. You know, and Donald Glover, you know, and quite honestly, like Jamie Foxx, you know, I really, you know, and Jamie Foxx kind of sort of the way he's multi-talented and he's actually one of the top at everything he does when he focuses on that. You know, and those are people that drive me. You know, because you know, so why not do everything? You know, so when you can do it.
So is he like your nemesis?
Donald Glover.
You're both kind of short. You're both kind of short. You both kind of have like that enigmatic funniness. Is that your
low-key just like kind of dropped the lyrics to Sweatpants because you were like,
rap.
You know what? No,
yeah.
He seems like a dude that, you know what I'm saying, he would think that I would be trying to talk to his girl or something, but I really wouldn't want her for real, because he like him. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying, we could do some music together. Like, I don't know. I think, you know what I'm saying, Donald Glover, like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I think his coolest moment, like, I think he made it and killed it when he hit that pose with the gun, like, you know, that right.
It was kind of pretty.
I mean, that was his. I mean, think about that was his apex of everything. That was like, yeah, but no, like I kind of look at like everybody, and you know, I look at the people who are not the obvious, you know what I'm saying, choices to be good at what they do. And, you know, they kind of inspire me to believe more so in myself, you know what I'm saying, the version of who I am and not the version of what I think other people want me to be.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of the non-obvious choices? Like, because I would think Jamie Foxx would be like an inspiration to anyone who's multi-talented. Anyone that we may not have heard of, or someone that people wouldn't typically think about?
I don't know, like, you know, everybody, you know what I mean, like famous people, you know what, I'm a big Kanye guy, you know, like, I'm a huge Ye guy, the ride or die Ye. I, you know, saying, through thick and thin, you know what I'm saying, through, I mean, like, you know, as a Quasi tell you, you know what I'm saying, I mean, Kanye is like that guy who like ultimately inspires me, that even when he got the fucking motherfucking red hat, I'm still, you know, I'm still finding inspiration in dude.
Okay.
Well, why you turning sideways and have that muscle out there like that?
No, that's how he gets down. I told you he's trying to intimidate people, but I'm not intimidated. I'm not intimidated.
I mean, if I want to intimidate people,
let him know.
Let him know.
No, but ultimately, like this whole comedy journey, is self-cleansing. It's like been therapy for me, because like I go on stage and some comedians talk about jokes. I talk about stuff that happens to me. I talk about life. So a lot of the inspiration that I'm actually finding is like coming from looking back at how far I've actually come.
Well, we're at midnight, so I kept you an hour longer than I said you were going to, but that Lizzo went long, sir.
Lizzo went long.
Lizzo went very long.
That's Mia's fault. It's Mia's fault.
That's not my fault. I can't wrap that shit up, B.
Like watching the train. Quasi came in there, was like, "Hey, here's Lizzo. She's fat," and then ran.
I'm not sure if that.
And then Walter was like, "She needs to lose weight. She's fat."
Lizzo.
And
then Lizzo had a
bubble.
I want to it all be different.
Probably.
I think it would, Sean. I think it would be different. Like,
I think
it bubble. It'd be different.
She doesn't have a bubble, and she's not top heavy either. So like,
neither one.
You know what? This is a trap. I love Lizzo. You know what I'm saying? She is entitled.
This is a trap.
And like we as men need to protect that queen.
Okay, I agree with you there. Ron, plug something, man. Plug the show. Plug a set.
Okay, yeah.
Man.
You know what? I am about to plug this, and then my phone about to die. But look, Ram Kelly on all social media. RAHMKE1LY. I've taken L's. I can't take two, so that's why I only got one L in the name. I got the Ron Kelly show every Sunday. I'm in the Ron Kelly show. It's pretty much like a social experiment. Find me on Facebook, RAHMKE1L. I told you why. On like Facebook, I got the group. Throw it on like the grill. This is where it's a safe space to talk about unsafe things. And so that's what I got going on each and every Sunday at 2 p.m. Catch me on Facebook. But I do one thing that I do with like my podcast. I like to do here. I do a positive moment. I do like a real positive moment because sometimes people need to hear that. And I just like to say, as like a brother from Detroit, I'm really so glad to see all types of different brothers, all types of kings and queens out here doing different type of things. You know what I'm saying? You out here like Black Jesus. We got Hercules over there. We got Barack Obama. You know what I'm saying? Then we got Sister Girls. You know what I'm saying? Y'all out there. Y'all so educated. And, I was a little out of place and might be a little intimidated. But then I realized, everybody has a gift. Everybody, finds a lane. And, at the end of the day, the only time people fail is when they try to be a version of what other people want them to be or what you think other people be. And, that's not who I am. And so when I got comfortable, everything flowed. And y'all wild. And like Quasi, I like the way you set this up. This was a different show. You got a whole bunch of lions and you was like, here's some meat. That's what you did. But like, I just, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect. And that's pretty much what life is. Life is a series of choices and a series of choices and unfortunate events. And depending on like what you do with it, that's your, your girth as a person. You know, and like at the end of the day, we as men get this. Everybody wants to have a big dick and everybody wants to be the biggest dick in the room, but you can't. And sometimes you at least got to be girthy. So, you know, that's what you got to be. All right, so look, man. All right, so look, man, find me on social media. I'm gonna find y'all. I'm gonna pull up on y'all and interview y'all. You guys, I really appreciate it. I like what you got going on, and you know, so thank you for having me.
Hey, Ron, it was my pleasure having you, man.
Nice
It was
meeting
really
you.
good stuff.
It was
Take care.
very good
Stuff.
stuff.
Hey, Jersey.
It was fantastic, man. That's it for our show today.